Hello, everyone. We'd like to welcome everyone to another episode of your Speak Your Peace podcast for tonight. I am your host, BC, as you already know. Once again, we don't have the full crew. Some of them will be joining us shortly, but I got my brothers in the building, Mr. David Hayes,
What's up?
and
What's up?
got my boy Andrew,
What's going on?
ready to get this thing cracking. So, on tonight's podcast, for those that are watching, a lot of free agency moves that have happened within the last few weeks. A lot of big names are going to new teams, new faces, new organizations. And so we're going to go ahead and get this thing started. So the first acquisition that we're going to talk about tonight, well, not even the acquisition, but he stayed with his team. Mike Evans stays with the Bucks. And for those that don't know, Mike Evans re-signed with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers for a 2-year deal for $52 million. And with that, $35 million of that was guaranteed. So, Andrew, tell us how you feel about that move. Do you think that was a solid move for the Bucks to retain him, or do you think Mike Evans could have went somewhere else? What you think?
Yeah, I thought he was going to go to a contender. I know there were rumors, possible rumors of him, perhaps a trade working out only with the Chiefs, but obviously you see that didn't happen. And for Tampa Bay's sake, thought it was key that they, did keep him, and if they retained him, then that would also mean obviously keeping the quarterback Mayfield as well, because those two were a wonderful tandem last year. So a good move for Tampa, for Tampa side of things. It was a good move. He's been Mr. Consistency over there. So yeah.
And before we get to you, David, welcome Big Jet to the show.
What's going? What's good, people? What's up, fellas?
Like to welcome him to the show. So what we doing, Jet? We just talking about Mike Evans. We're staying with the Bucks. Just getting everybody's opinion on that. So I'm gonna get to David, then I'm gonna get to you.
Sound good.
All right, Dave. So tell us your thoughts on that. How you feel about that?
I think it was a good resign. He's been Mr. Consistent ever since he's been in the league, 1,000 yards for 10 straight years. So I think it was good for them to resign him, and just the fact that they got him and Baker, they have good chemistry. So I think that it was best for them to sign them back in order for them to be in contention.
Good point. Big Jet.
Yes, sir. I like the situation for both parties. I think comfortability was a factor, a big factor for Mike, and then the fact that they offered him so much money, being on the back end of his career, he got paid. He got, some good money. And then, thinking about, the saying, the grass ain't always greener on the other side. Yes, I know he could have went to contenders and things like that, but who knows what that could have led to, or what that could have been. We know sometimes just because it's like a blockbuster, addition doesn't mean it's always works out. So he's been Mr. Consistent, like David said, with the Bucks. He has that relationship with Baker. All he knows is that team. So I know it was good again on his side, and then that money was just that bonus on top of it. He just wanted to get paid, and it was definitely good for the Bucks as well because again he's been Mr. Consistent. He's been reliable, healthy, all that for all those seasons.
Facts. Good point. I like the move. I just feel like with those type of players who've been there for a long time, the tenure that he's had with the Bucks, the consistency. He's been one of the most underrated receivers in the league for the past decade. Nobody really talks about Mike Evans like that. I like the move, especially for Baker. Yes, Baker has played well last year. Surprised a lot of folks, including myself. But I do feel that it's a great move for them in the step and going in the right direction. Now, they did lose to me a big key piece for their defense. And Devin White going to the Eagles. We'll see how that goes on that side of the field. But as far as offensively, They still got Chris Godwin. I think they still got Russell Gage, or I know he's been hurt the last couple years. But I do like the move for them. But it all contends on what to me Baker Mayfield does. We can always say, was last year a fluke for Baker Mayfield, or was this the real thing for him? Was he really legit? Only time will tell. But I like the move though. I like the move. How y'all feel? Any final takes before we move on to the next topic?
I got one that take on Baker, bro. You know, I feel like it took a minute. It took a while for Baker to kind of find his footing in the NFL. But I feel like it's one of them things. Once you got it, you got it. Not saying like he just some, generational talent, but it does seem like he's found his footing. And the best thing you can do in a situation is surround him with weapons and to keep the pieces that he's already flourished with already there. So they did a good job of, keeping the main thing, and just keeping that team kind of as far as offensive wise together.
Right.
Kind of mesh and go for it.
I agree. We got a comment from ATLJ. He said facts. I definitely agree. So big move, big move.
Yeah.
For the Bucs on that. And to me, that 2-year deal may be a final contract for Mike Evans.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. He is getting older. We'll see how that play out. Any other comments, Andrew, David, before we take off to the next one? If not, we'll go ahead and go move right along. So the next topic, Mr. Russell Wilson signs with the Pittsburgh Steelers. Who would have thought that? Wow, on a 1-year deal. Really didn't really sign for anything. Denver Broncos, by the way, is paying him $39 million this year. For those that didn't know that, they still owe him money because he signed a big contract. So he's still getting the bag. And on top of that, getting another $1 million from the Steelers. So, hey. So we'll ask David on this one. How you feel about the move? You think this is a good move for the Steelers or not?
I think it was a good move. They have weapons. They have a good running game. Russell Wilson is a veteran quarterback. I think they can lead this team. He doesn't have to do much. That defense is dominant. So
yeah,
I think it was a good sign for them to get a veteran quarterback that can take them to the playoffs, and he has experience. So
facts. Big Jet.
Same. I actually hate it personally being a Ravens fan. It makes already the toughest division in the freaking world even tougher. But yeah, I mean, great move by them. I know we're about to get into the other side and later, but I mean, they already, have the formula: defense, running game. He's entering a situation that's similar to the Seahawks with a good coach. So, I mean, I'm hoping I see the Russell Wilson from the Broncos and all the mishaps and crap like that, but I think it's gonna be tough. That was a good sign.
Facts. And before we get to Andrew too, I forgot to say in the intro, please, if you haven't already, subscribe to the channel and like the video if you can. It would be a good thing for us if you can do that, to share with as many people as you can. So we'll appreciate that.
Definitely.
Andrew, let's get to you. How do you feel about the move?
I thought it was a good move for the Steelers again, just as was mentioned that Denver's paying of the salary, so you can't really complain there if you're a Steeler fan. Again, a veteran there. They needed an upgrade at quarterback. Now we will see how much of an upgrade it is. Russell Wilson should play better. In fact, if you think about it, he really didn't play too bad last year statistically. So I think it's a good move for them. They do have some pieces on the offensive side, so that should be a good situation for him. Especially there with Tomlin. So should be interesting. And as Big Jit said, that division just got a little more tough.
Yeah.
And before I get to me, let's get to the comment again from ATLJ. The comment says, definitely good for the Steelers. Wilson was doing nothing with the Broncos. Sorry, Taylor. Yeah. like Andrew said, though, I mean, he had a couple. He didn't have a terrible season.
What was he like? 26-9 or 26-8 or something like that.
Yeah, he was somewhere around there.
Yeah. Sean Payton too. That's another topic for another day. But he wasn't terrible. But for the Steelers, for me, I think that was a really good move for them. But this is what I will say: I didn't expect Deontay Johnson to move on. That's to me one of the most underrated route runners in the league. That kind
He don't got no hands.
Yeah. But Pickens, of course, has a lot of potential. He's the number one receiver over there. Unless they make a tremendous trade and go get Brandon Ayuk. But if they stay put, I mean, George Pickens is gonna definitely feast. Better upgraded quarterback position, as y'all said. And definitely he's not just a pocket passer. Russell can move out the pocket a little bit, which to me is going to help them a lot because Kenny Pickett, really didn't do too much of that. So I like the move for them. I think they're going to, and like David said, the defense over there with the addition of Patrick Queen, definitely going to help them over there a lot too. I know Big G didn't want to hear that. Didn't want to hear it. I know it. You didn't want to hear it.
I ain't gonna get on that, but hey, man, congrats to Patrick Queen, but
yeah,
he know what he did. I'm just playing.
Any other comments, fellas, before we move on to the next one?
Yeah, just quickly. That 26-8 last year for Russell Wilson. 3,070 yards. So that, if you think about it statistically, it's a really good season. For the quarterback position. And as you said, there were other issues that were bigger than him out there, including the head coach, who to me is a little overrated.
Yeah.
Who, Tomlin?
No. I'm sorry. Yeah,
Sean Payton. He's talking about Sean
Payton. Oh, yeah. I definitely agree on that.
I got a comment too, Cody. I like what you hinted at. The fact that they, let DeAndre go to the Panthers and so forth. I don't know if I really understand that. I know you can go in the draft and possibly get somebody, but you had something that was kind of proven, and it seemed like you would want to crowd Russell with weapons and stuff like that to just make him like that game manager and so forth.
I don't know about that. Deontay Johnson's not consistent though. If you really look at it, he's up and down. He doesn't know how to catch most of the time. He run good routes, but he's not consistent.
Well, I'll say that to me, he didn't have good quarterback play, and he got frustrated towards the end of the season, and that's why he won.
But even when he was with Big Ben, he still didn't know how to catch the ball.
Yeah, his rookie year. Yeah.
But you thrusting a lot on Pickens. You are forcing Pickens in that number one role, and
but you also got to remember the Steelers do develop wide receivers really good.
They do.
They know how to pick wide receivers, so it's not really a big of a deal for them because they consistently get great wide receivers.
Mm-hmm. I believe this draft is wide receiver heavy.
Man, it's crazy. It's crazy.
Yep. If Marvin Harrison Jr. drop at 8, we take him. I'm telling you that right now. It'll drop. It's over with. Good points though, fellas. Let's go ahead and move on to the next one. Now, in case Russell Wilson do screw up, they did get a backup. Okay, Mr. Justin Fields. Justin Fields signed with the actually got traded to the Pittsburgh Steelers. Oh, look at that jersey. Woo! For a 6th-round pick, but it can be a 4th-round pick, depending on playing time for him. That's what sources said. So how do y'all feel, Big J? We're gonna start with you on this one, man.
I don't like this. You could have left me for the end, but trash. Like,
I wonder why.
Man, the Steelers, but they was cooking. They was cooking this free agency. You got Fields for pennies on the dollar, and it's like I understand the questions about this man and that he hasn't shown consistency, but there's been times to where he has been like, man, he's been a guy. When he beat Detroit, When he came back from that injury, he looked like a different Justin Fields. So to just move on from him, and not really see what the kid's made of is crazy to me. And for them to have him sit behind a Russell Wilson with Super Bowl experience, with all the experience that he has, I mean, they're loaded. I mean, they're good for now and the future with adding Fields. So I guess congrats, Steelers. That's all I gotta tell
You
you.
really feel?
Andrew, tell me what you got on that, brother. How you feel?
I echo those same sentiments. In regards to Fields in Chicago, I don't think he was really developed correctly.
Nope.
I think that again, more quarterbacks are underdeveloped in the
Mhm.
NFL. So I think this is a much better situation, much better coach. Again, just franchise in general. So again, learning behind Russell Wilson is good for him. Perhaps it would have benefited if he learned from someone in Chicago, not just being thrust on the field and to start in Chicago. So much better spot for him. All the pressure is off of his, are off his shoulders now, being out of there. So, again, we'll see, what comes of the Bears, in the coming months, after they, of course, they're driving a quarterback. So I think it's a good spot for Fields, and hopefully he is able to learn, there in Pittsburgh. And then, obviously, I don't think Russell Wilson's going to be there too long. And I believe it's going to be an open competition. So, right, if I'm not mistaken?
No, it's not an open competition.
It's not open?
No.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, it's still good situation for him to learn from. And you never, again, Russell Wilson is aging there. So, hope for the best, for him, because I don't think he was fully developed properly in Chicago.
No, he wasn't. I'm gonna get into my point. David, go ahead. How you feel about that?
I think it was a good trade for the Steelers. They got their quarterback. Well, they might have their quarterback for the future. They get a chance. He get a chance to learn and to sit down with Russell Wilson and pick his brain and see how to, watch film and everything. So he get a chance to develop and get a chance to see his full potential. I think that the Bears mismanaged him while he was there. They put too much on his plate too soon. You can see that when he had his press conference where he said the coach is he's not able to play free because the coach is just telling him to do too much. So it's best that he get put out of that situation and get to a new situation where he gets better coaching, and so he can better understand how to read coverages and everything.
Facts. I hate the move. He should have been an Atlanta Falcon, man. He should have been in the ATL where he should have been home. And you mean to tell me they only got a 6th-round pick for that joker?
That's true.
Round pick. That's it. What
That's
the
true.
heck is you doing, Atlanta? We could have gave a 6th round. Okay, I ain't gonna get into Kirk Cousins because we're gonna talk about that later on. But okay, if you didn't want to trade for Justin Fields to be your starter, why couldn't you trade him to be a backup? Let him learn under Kirk Cousins. You know what I'm saying? But I don't want to speak too much on that topic. But as far as the Steelers, I don't like it because I'm biased. He should have been here, but I do like it for him and his development to sit behind Russell Wilson. He's going to learn from Russell Wilson. The Chicago Bears failed him, as y'all saw, and we're going to get into that soon. They upgraded their roster tremendously just so they can get Caleb Williams, and they surrounded him with talent. Why couldn't they do that for Justin Fields? That's why I'm just like frustrated. The man got a lot of potential, so much potential.
Agreed.
And for those out there, I got people at the job, folks that I talk with about football. They think Justin Fields is horrible. Oh, he sucks. Other podcasts that I listen to, people talk about him. Oh, they didn't want him here in Atlanta because he sucks. How are you going to judge? He only been in the league 3 years. He hasn't really reached anything yet. Okay. So with him being with the Steelers, learning from a vet, that's going to help him out tremendously to me. And two, by the way, I'm gonna share with y'all because when y'all was talking, I wanted to look this up, and this is a source from Bleacher Report. It says Russell Wilson is QB1 over Justin Fields, but plans can change. So if Russell Wilson screws up,
Yeah.
or they start playing some future on the sideline, oh yeah, it's a wrap. He gonna be sitting down. So just wanted to share that with y'all. Now let's get into the comment here. I like that picture, by the way.
Right?
It says Fields gonna be the starter by week 4. Watch. See?
I can see it, man.
You never know how this thing can shake.
Actions speak louder than words, man. So yeah.
You
Possibility.
never know.
Mm-hmm.
All right, y'all. Any final comments before we get into the next one?
I got one, Cody. I don't know who's the longest tenured head coach. Like, I believe it's Bill for the pay. I think in the NFL. But if they hit the money with Russell and then Justin Fields turns out to be something, Mike Tomlin might be the longest. He might reign as the longest head coach ever. Because think about, Justin Fields is at the beginning of his career and so forth. And if he can, have a long tenured career with the Steelers, Tomlin's gonna be there along with him, and like you said, they're good with wide receivers, so and always will be good with defense. So I'm just thinking about that he may set himself up to be a coach there for a very long time.
Mm-hmm.
And just to touch on that. That's what I really don't get all the hate about Tomlin. I think he's a very solid coach.
Yeah,
I think he's solid.
I think it's because he hasn't won a playoff game in like 5 years. So
yeah,
and he's been like mediocre for the past, but it's not his fault. He's been mediocre for the past, 6 to 5 years in that same time span. So
and they
I think that's what it is. And you got to remember, it's the Steelers organization. They want championships. They don't want to just go to the playoffs and just lose.
Right, I agree. And they haven't had consistent quarterback play to me.
That's the only thing I asked.
That's where it stems from.
Yeah.
Think that's
Me.
Yeah.
And they finally got it. So we're gonna see. Because their defense is really good.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Tomlin is a defensive coach, so he always have his defense ready to go. It's just the other side of the ball. Offensive coordinators, not really that good. Arthur Smith, our former head coach, is their OC now.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll see how that go. But good points though, y'all. Let's keep it going, because we got a bunch to talk about tonight. PFP. And if y'all don't know what PFP, that me and Big Jit know what that means. Pound for pound. Austin Ekeler signs with the Commanders. Rockstar mentality. Woo. So Austin Ekeler, once again, he signed with the Washington Commanders for a 2-year deal worth $11.43 million. So, Andrew, we'll start with you on this one. How do you feel about this move? Austin Ekeler to the Commanders.
Got a little bone to pick with Austin Ekeler anyway. Just was terrible for my fantasy team this past year. But
a lot of people feel the way.
My first overall pick, man.
Oh man.
But and I'm sure we'll get at this at some point. I'm not on this show, but another what the Chargers are doing, just unloading everybody outside of Herbert. But I don't know what the Commanders. I just don't know. I don't know. Nothing seems to ever go right there for them.
Nope.
I don't understand. Well, who's their quarterback?
They
traded Sam Howell.
They traded Sam Howell.
Yep.
Oh,
Yeah.
they got Marcus Mariota.
Okay.
They got who? They got Marcus.
Exactly. Who?
And they're probably gonna draft one too, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're gonna draft.
Yeah.
So we'll see. I don't know. Because he wasn't great last year. I knew he had some injuries there too, but yeah, I don't know.
Yeah. David?
They won a good signing. That's all I got to say.
Hey, you just summed it up in a nutshell.
Yeah.
Big Jit.
Good job to Austin Ekeler. I think it's gonna be another finesse situation. You've seen a running back on the decline. He went and got his bread, got another 2-year contract. I don't know how much of that is guaranteed. So I think I was again smart on his part, but on the Washington part, I mean, They ain't watched the season. Last year, I mean, he's an upgrade from Gibson. So you know, I
I
look
wouldn't
at
say that.
Yeah,
I
he'll
wouldn't
upgrade
say
from
that.
Gibson.
He ain't no upgrade from Gibson.
You say you wouldn't say he's an upgrade?
No, he's not. I don't think so.
Okay. But
Because Gibson can run between the tackles. He can't.
I will say he's more receiving back, but he's a tough joker. But I don't know. I think he is on the decline. So either way, paying that to which wasn't crazy money, but just paying a running back in the later part of his years after showing the season of kind of like falling off. I don't think that was a good move. But hey, I still root for PFP. He won me a championship in my first year. So
Was that the year before this one?
yeah. So
That's why.
2 years ago. 2 years ago.
Yeah, he's phenomenal. 2 years ago.
Yeah. Well, I mean, he's going to be splitting touches with Brian Robinson. Now, I will say, though, it may be, I would say this, he will be getting more touches than he did in San Diego or Los Angeles now. Reason why is because Los Angeles is a passing team. Even though that he is a passing running back, he gets passes, but I just feel like the Washington Commanders, whoever they draft in this year's draft, I think they're gonna be leaning heavily on the running game. So it can give him more opportunities to succeed maybe this year. They do have a decent wide receiver cast with Terry McLaurin and the others. So
yeah,
I
they
mean,
lost Curtis Samuel.
yeah. Dotson, they got
Yeah.
him. So I mean, he can have more opportunities maybe this year. So who knows? I mean, we'll see. I mean, do I like the move? I mean, yeah,
Exactly.
it's not like one of them things. But this is something that I wanted to talk to y'all about too, because this was a quote that he said today, and y'all might have saw it. They asked Austin Eckler about did anybody talk to him as far as why he left the Chargers or whatever. And this is what he said. He said the Chargers came to me and kind of told me what they were looking at in the running back position, and it wasn't what I can offer as a player. So pretty much, they didn't want him. They didn't feel like what they wanted, he didn't have. So whatever that might have been, whether like David said, running through the tackles, or more of a complete running back. I mean, maybe that's why, but that was what he said today. So just wanted to share that with y'all. But any final comments, y'all, before we move on? No. If not, let's go ahead and roll on to the next one. So this was another trade. And I thought this trade here, since we talking about the Chargers, Keenan Allen traded to the Chicago Bears. Now, I was kind of shocked on this one. Very, very shocked. Keenan Allen, you could probably say, had the best season of his career last year, to me. And for them to trade him, that was like, whoa. So, y'all tell me how y'all feel on him. Big J, we'll start with you on this one, man. How you feel about the trade?
I think it was solid. I'll give it a C just because he's, talking about older. Keenan Allen is 34, and like you said, he had probably the best season he's had in a long time as far as no injuries and so forth. But if you look at his history, he typically misses like 4 to 5 games a season. I think the risk of that happening only goes up with age. But I guess that veteran presence, him and DJ Moore, if he can stay healthy, that could be a good tandem. And I know he had a relationship with Caleb, and I'm almost like 1,000% sure they're drafting him. But yeah, it's a solid move. I wouldn't say it's a great move, but it's solid.
Okay. Dave, how you feel about it?
I think it's a great move. You got 2 number ones with the Bears with DJ Moore and Keenan Allen. You're getting a young quarterback, which helps when you give him more weapons. It's better for his development. And also, you can't forget about the tight end that they have. So I think it's a great move because it gives, if they draft Caleb, a chance for him to develop pretty good and be able to process the game better.
Good point. All right, Drew.
I like the move, for the Bears. Again, why couldn't they do this for Justin Fields? Just in terms of just collecting, talent like this, like they have this, this offseason. In fact, this was, last year was, this past season was Keenan Allen's actually second best year. Just look, statistically, his best season was in 17 when he had 1393 yards.
6 touchdowns.
Yep. Yeah, and then this past season was 1243. He had the 7 touchdowns. So I think he will be a great addition, out there in Chicago. And then, obviously they're drafting a quarterback. So that should be, that would be good. And like I said, it all points to Caleb Williams being drafted there. So it's a nice target for Williams as a rookie.
Yeah. I like the move for the Bears, but not for the Chargers. Because it's like you left Justin Herbert with nothing.
Yeah.
Mike Williams not there no more. We'll get to him in a few minutes. Keenan Allen's gone. I mean, Joshua Palmer has shown strides, but can he be a number one receiver? I don't think so. Gerald Everett's not there no more. PFP, Austin Eckler's not there no more. So Joshua Kelly, I mean, he sucks. Every time fantasy-wise, I remember picking that joke up, thinking he gonna do something, man. That joke lay egg every week. I was like, man, I got some stuff towards him. But other than that, man, I'm like, dang, they just left Justin Herbert on the island by himself. I mean, I know they got the new regime with Harbaugh, but it's like, who they gonna bring in? I mean,
the reason why they traded him because they said that he didn't want to restructure his contract. So and they don't got that much cap space, so they really can't do nothing.
They're drafting. They go draft the wide receiver. They have
to. Yeah, they have to, man. Are they just gonna trade up all of a sudden in the top 10? I mean, I don't know.
They got the 5th pick.
They're 5.
Yeah. Oh, they're at 5. Oh, okay.
They're
they're in a really good position then.
Yeah, they probably gonna draft.
Oh yeah, well they can get somebody. Shoot, Marvin Harrison may be on the way there if the Cardinals don't get him.
I'm pretty sure.
Right.
Yeah.
Now that Hollywood right there, he may be on the way there. So yeah, and like Drew, like you were saying, 17 was his best year. I'm looking at it now. But Keenan Allen started off the season hot though. I remember stretches in the beginning of the season. I was like, man, he's going off. Had 7 touchdowns of the season. The most not the most, but second most that he had since he's been a Charger. So, I like the move for the Bears. You giving more weapons for Caleb, but like y'all said, why they just didn't do that for Justin Fields, have no clue. Let's get into a comment before we get to the final comments for this section. Thomas Miller. The Bears should have gave Justin Fields these weapons. Yep, he's more proven than Caleb Williams.
What's up, Thomas?
Shout out to Thomas Miller, man. Yeah, so
absolutely
he's right, man. I mean, yeah, Caleb Williams looked good in his pro day, but
yeah,
I mean, we're gonna see what he looked like in the pros.
I got a point with that, Cody, too.
Go ahead.
I think this all kind of stems from the infatuation with CJ Stroud. Seeing what CJ Stroud did in his year, I think it kind of got teams perplexed and thinking like, oh, if we just put a good team around them and get, a really good guy that they can, make this stride in their first year. Everybody's not going to be CJ Stroud. I mean, nobody's seen that coming. And it was definitely an amazing run. I think CJ Stroud's going to be a heck of a talent, but that's less like that was the best rookie year all time in period. So, yeah, I think it just kind of goes back to where they saying like we're gonna bet on this guy. They're saying that he's the best prospect ever. I didn't heard that thrown around a couple times with Caleb. So I think that's what it kind of comes down to, and just thinking that he's just going to carry them to glory.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Any other comments, y'all? If not, let's keep it rolling. We're gonna stay with the Bears. David Swift, nice with the Chicago Bears. My, oh my. David, we're going to start with you on this one. So how do you feel about DeAndre Swift? I know what y'all got now, but let's just say if y'all didn't get what y'all got. How would you feel about this move?
I probably, to be honest, I don't really know because we didn't really use him like that. So, I mean, but as far as for the Bears, I think it's a good move. He's one of those backs that can both run with the football and catch out of the backfield. I think that is another weapon for Caleb Williams for the Bears to have. You know, you just throw in a swing route, and then he can just do the rest with the yak. He's really good in space, really elusive. So I think this is a good pickup for the Bears.
Mm-hmm. Andrew,
I agree. Just as a side, Swift was phenomenal for me as a running back last year in fantasy. but but yeah, it was a good signing for the Bears. I thought he was really good on the Eagles last year too.
yeah,
I was actually surprised, that they moved on, from him, and I'm sure we'll get to that other running back they got in place of him. But yeah, I thought it was a good signing for the Bears again as they continue to build their offensive weaponry, if you will. Again, I think he'll be outstanding, out there, and he's very good in the pass catching game too, which should help. Again, that helps a rookie quarterback having those safety nets, having those check downs. Someone like Swift, we talked about Keenan Allen, who can just sit in coverage, that whole bit. So again, we see what the Bears are doing, and hopefully it will end up in some really good results, for them.
facts. Big Jit.
I agree with everybody's sentiments as well. Excellent move by the Bears. Young running back that, like you said, is versatile, can both run and catch. Being that safety blanket with a new quarterback is going to be very vital. Him and Komet. So as y'all hinted at before, great move, great signing. It's really not too much to be said. That was an excellent move by the Bears. Should have been done earlier.
Yeah, and I agree with y'all. At first, I was like, yeah, it's a decent move. But the more I keep looking at it, now that how the team has developed now with getting Keenan Allen now, that's just adding another piece to the puzzle. He's going to definitely open up, to me, the whole offense because of his dynamic ability, what he can do, running the ball, catching the ball. Like I said, another check down guy for Caleb. So, Caleb don't have to do too much. He got weapons. You got the tight end over there as well. So, I like the move, to be honest with you. Now that I keep looking at it and doing more study on it, it's a good move. I didn't understand why at first the Eagles didn't retain him, but I do see why now. And we're going to get into that a little bit later. So, but it was a good move for them overall. Any other comments before we move on to the next one? If not, let's keep it moving. So the next move, Mr. Calvin Ridley, Mr. AKA Batman, AKA I quit.
Right.
Quit on my team, man. Calvin Ridley signed with the Tennessee Titans. Now, Calvin Ridley, he signed a 4-year deal, $92 million. $50 million was guaranteed off that contract. $50 million. Man.
It's a lot of pennies.
A lot of pennies. Andrew, tell us how you feel about this, man. Was he overpaid? Or
yes. Absolutely.
He gonna quit right in the middle of the season. Why?
I don't think he was that great in Jacksonville. His best year was in Atlanta, just before he got in trouble and all that stuff. But yeah, I don't think he was that great in Jacksonville. I thought he would be better in Jacksonville, with Lawrence there. And that didn't pan out as well as I thought. Now going to, Tennessee, that's going to be interesting situation there now. The jury's out in terms of how he will perform.
Yeah,
got quite a bag. That definitely overpaid in my eyes.
Yeah,
we'll see.
Could be. Big Jet.
I mean, like Andrew just mentioned, man, when Calvin Ridley went to Jacksonville, it was so much hype surrounding Jacksonville because we already was thinking that Trevor Lawrence was this quarterback that was about to make that next step, especially after the push he had after the game they won against the Chargers in the playoffs. You add this addition, and it was kind of underwhelming. It wasn't as what I thought it was going to be. So congratulations to him, Florida boy, getting his money. He goes to a team now to where he will be splitting with D Hop, but he goes to a lesser quarterback in Will Levis. If anything, I'm kind of scratching my head why they didn't go for Justin Fields because I don't see how they're just so sold on Will Levis, or maybe they're not. Maybe they plan to attack the quarterbacking position in the draft. But I mean, yeah, great move by him getting his money. Okay move by them for paying him that much. I don't know.
Good points. Dave.
Yeah, he was overpaid, definitely. He didn't do much last year.
Yeah.
Besides the first 2 games he played, he didn't really do nothing. He's been underwhelming ever since he came back. It was this big push about, him being able to be that number 1 in Jacksonville, but he couldn't become that number 1. And now that he goes to Tennessee with a quarterback going to his second year, I just don't think that is going to mesh with him and the Titans. I just don't think it's a good fit at all.
Yeah. And I agree with you today. I don't really like the move per se. I mean, it's a good move for Calvin and his agent for getting him that bad. But as far as the team, I don't think that's a really good fit because, like Bryce was saying, who is the quarterback? I mean, do you believe in Will Levis like that? I'm surprised D Hop's still here. I thought he would have packed his bags. I'm up out of here, but I think he's still here for right now. I mean, without Derrick Henry, I forgot the running back they got.
Tony Pollard,
right?
Yeah, Tony Pollard. I forgot about Tony Pollard. Yeah, see,
He
there.
just don't get hurt.
But exactly, I was gonna say, to me, he's not an every down back.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? So I don't see the move, for them to resign. I mean, not resign, but sign Calvin Ridley to that. That's a lot of money. But I mean, hey, we'll see where they go as far as quarterback situation. We'll see. Any other final comments, fellas?
I would say this. I think that Will Levis last year showed some potential, so I think that's why they didn't go out and get a quarterback. He showed some type of potential last year.
Yeah. I mean, he do got an arm. I mean, he got a strong arm. I did see him make some throws when we played. The Falcons played him. He made some deep throws.
He makes some pretty decent throws.
Yeah, but I mean, we'll see as far as the whole season what he can do. Only time will tell. Good points, fellas. As always, let's keep it rolling.
I got one more quick.
Oh, go ahead, Drew. My bad.
Just one more quick one. If you think about, I forgot. I saw it somewhere. I meant to save it. Just the difference, what they did not want to pay AJ Brown versus what they paid Ridley. I came across something, must have been last week, about it, and I don't think it was that far off.
Yeah, I've seen it too.
Yeah, I forget what it was, but it wasn't. It was like difference of like not much in terms of what they could have kept AJ Brown for.
That's crazy.
What they paid Ridley.
Wow, that's man. I know they regret that. AJ Brown, boy, I'm telling you. But I'm happy for him because he's on a better team, better quarterback play.
Yep.
So yeah, that's a good point. All right, y'all. So let's move on to the next one. Brandon Jacobs. What I meant to say is Josh Jacobs. I always get them confused. Y'all know what I mean.
Yeah.
Those are out there. So he signed with the Green Bay Packers. And what he signed for those that are watching, a 4-year deal worth $48 million. 48 mil. He got the bag as well.
How much guaranteed?
It didn't say.
Yeah, I don't think it said there.
It didn't say how much was guaranteed off that, but they'll probably release it maybe within a few weeks or whatever. But hey, he got his money. How do y'all feel about that? Dave, we'll start with you on this one. How do you feel about the move with Jacobs?
I think it's an upgrade from what you call it,
Aaron Jones.
Aaron Jones. Aaron Jones last year was hurt a lot. You know, once you start to get in your 30s, you see running backs decline. And I like the fact that, you know, they have a pretty good wide receiver core. Jordan Love showed last year that he can play. And also that I won't say Brandon. Josh Jacobs is a really good running back if you feed him the ball, which the Packers, they are a run-heavy team. So I think this is a good move for the Packers.
Yeah, very good move. Big Jet.
I agree. Great move. As you said, that Aaron Jones was a heck of a running back, but as he continued to kind of go these past couple of years, he's been getting banged up and haven't played consistently. So moving on to go get a young running back, that was, just not last year, but the year before, arguably the best running back in the league. That was a super huge move. And then on top of that, as you said, David, this is a running back that needs the ball consistently, and they dropped AJ Dillon, so it looks like they plan to, feed him. Also, along with that whole thing, now we can put it to rest as far as like the running backs not getting paid, because man, running backs got paid this offseason. A lot of running backs paid good money, and this was one of them. The only thing I would say about this is that I call into question just because I had Josh Jacobs on my fantasy team last year, and he didn't really do too good. And I understand the whole team was bad. But when Zamir White came in when Josh got hurt, he was able to produce and, put up some pretty good numbers. So maybe it was rust or maybe whatever it could have been that, could have been shooken off. But it's just like, I do look at that. I'm like, okay, this same team that he couldn't produce with, Zamir White came in and showed some promise. But that could have been just to tell that, he wanted to go to a new team or a fresh start.
You got to remember, Bryson, he holed out for the whole camp. So, he had to get back in shape. Yeah. So he couldn't really, so that holds him back a lot.
Yep.
True.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's true.
Andrew?
Yeah, that was a good signing for the Packers. As Big Jit said, I thought Aaron Jones was an outstanding running back there in Green Bay. And I think his injuries are just more just because of they ran the ball a lot, as was mentioned. I think, David, you mentioned about Green Bay being a run-heavy team. And we saw that. He was phenomenal, passing game, the blocking, that whole bit. So I think that's probably a major reason as to why, it took a toll on him just with the injury. Very good signing by the Packers. And, as we talked about before with the Chargers, don't know what they're, just the roster depletion outside of Herbert. Now we see what, the Raiders also, no Jacobs there. They still have Adams there again. What's the plan on that, for the Raiders? It's just Adams that's there now. And the reason why Adams wanted to go to the Raiders was because of Derek Carr. And he's no longer there either. So I don't know what's going on with the Raiders there. So, but with Josh Jacobs on the Green Bay, very good signing. And I think he'll fit in just fine with Jordan Love there. I think there's something really good going on there in Green Bay.
Yeah, I totally agree. That was one of the best signings to me because, like y'all was saying, Aaron Jones, he was on my fantasy team last year, and boy, oh boy. That joker got hurt for me, man. I remember the first game of the season we played the Bears, and I don't know if y'all remember, right? He caught a screen pass, took it to the house, and all of a sudden, his hand started to grab his hamstring, and I said, "Uh-oh, we got a problem." ever since, that man been hurt the whole year, and I said, "Well, that's it." But as y'all said, man, this is what happens with running backs as they get older. Injuries fall into play. So, I understand why the Packers had to make a move. As Big J said, Josh Jacobs, you could say, was the best running back of the league last year. and that's going to really help Jordan Love in his young career. Having a running back of that caliber on the team, that's going to really help him out. And then, of course, the receivers. I like the move overall for them. I do say, though, they need to add. I want to see them add another vet as far as receivers. They got a good young core, but I like to see a vet, a solid vet over there that can really, really help them out tremendously. And it's, free agency is not over, so they can, but we'll see. But I like the move overall for them. Very good move. Any other final comments? All right. If not, let's move on to the next one. We're staying in the same division. Aaron Jones went right next door. See, I'm gonna see y'all twice a year, Joker. Aaron Jones signs with the Minnesota Vikings. Now his contract, AJ, was 1 year, $7 million. That was guaranteed. And they was also saying with that contract, he had some voided years on that contract as well. But for right now, he's there for a 1 year deal. He's in the same division. So tell us how you feel, man. David, we'll start with you. How you feel about this move?
It's terrible. It's terrible. Besides Justin Jefferson, who they have? Nobody. That's all I got to say.
Big Jet.
I think it's solid. I think this will probably be Aaron Jones' last bit payday, so he gonna make the best of the season. Do I predict him playing the full season? No. He goes to a worse offensive line. It's okay. They lost Kirk Cousins, so I don't even know, what the Vikings are planning to do, but it's okay.
Yeah. Andrew.
Just FYI, Minnesota picks 11th this year in the draft. So, yeah. So I don't know if they're paid up to try to get somebody, but yeah. But yeah, Aaron Jones went there just because just to stick to the Packers, they have to see him, twice a year. I don't think it's gonna make much of a difference. Again, they don't have a quarterback, so that's that's what it comes down to nowadays. So, and again, just think of that division now. Let's just insert Caleb Williams right there, the Bears, right? So you have him, Goff in Detroit, and then Love in Green Bay. So, I think it's gonna be tough sledding for the Vikings, which is why you have been hearing talk about Justin Jefferson, kind of hinting that he doesn't want to be there.
Yeah.
Ouch.
That would be the biggest blow.
That's wow.
Man, what?
Yeah. Yeah, this
we'll
team.
take him in Forum Park.
Yeah. This team definitely gonna take a hit. The move to me was like, okay. It wasn't like a significant move for them. It ain't gonna change anything. They got Sam Darnold. If you're happy with that.
Oh my God!
You mean the same one? You mean that same one?
Justin
Same one?
Somebody gonna have to watch Justin Jefferson, boy. But yeah, the move, like I said, it's a decent move. It ain't like I'm happy, like, oh, this is a game changer. No, it's not. I don't even know who their backup is.
Man, y'all saying it's okay, and y'all can't not name one positive thing.
I'm saying it's okay in the Vikings. I'm sorry, in Aaron Jones, in his point of view. In the Vikings,
you said what?
I don't know.
You say what, Bryson?
In Aaron Jones' point of view, his perspective, that was good. It's probably gonna be his last bit payday. But from the Vikings' perspective, nah, you're right.
I don't even know what Aaron Jones. You just said he went to a worse offensive lineman, and yeah, he's a running back.
He probably got the most money he was offered from the Vikings. I don't think nobody probably was offering him more than $7 million. Yeah, I don't even know if he probably was getting offered that from anybody else.
No, I don't think so.
Yeah,
I mean, the Dallas Cowboys need a running back.
and they
They didn't even try to get him.
Man, the Dallas Cowboys are a joke. So I don't know why we talking about them.
For Aaron Jones, bro, I tell you, he be giving me Predator vibes. But anyway, y'all know that movie that day. The dread, we trying to cut it off. God, boy. Anyway,
Chill out. Chill out.
But let's keep it moving.
Oh man.
Mike Will to the Jets. Jets. Another injury reserve player. But, I'm sorry, Drew. I'm sorry. I had to do it, man.
No, you're right.
I had to do it.
Oh man.
I had to do it. I had to. And Drew, we're gonna start with you. All right.
Oh my
How
God.
you feel about this move, man, for your Jets?
I mean, there's a reason why players are free agents. So, there are question marks. So if he can play, I know again, he's hurt a lot.
A lot.
Man, if he can play, and the other thing is the turf at MetLife. I don't know why they haven't changed the turf at this point. It's always been an issue.
Yeah.
It'd be nice if we can get half the season from him. That would be nice.
Dean.
But I mean, I just like the signings of it's a big target. Just a good target. On the other side of outside of Garrett Wilson. I like the move. Are there questions? Absolutely. But again, you can't be a scared businessman when it comes to free agency. You just take the risk and you just hope for the best. We'll see what happens because again, you think about it, injury prone. There's a 40-year-old quarterback that's also injury prone as well. So, why not? Just hope for the best. For him because I think he has good hands, and he's when he's in there, he's a good target.
Right.
Mm-hmm. And before we get to you, Big Jet, Mike Will signed a 1-year deal. I think the contract was like 8-point-something million, but it's up to 15 million based on some incentives. And I'm pretty sure them incentives is play a whole season. Big Jet, how you feel about the move?
That boy Cody coming with it today, man. Hey, I think it was solid. Like you say, he's great when he's out there. I mean, tremendous when he's out there. As a matter of fact, you just got to be out there. So, I think he's chasing money. He's chasing a bigger contract. So, it would be in his best interest to play his best football this year. So, it's kind of that bend or break mentality. So you may see Mike Williams' best season this year because, I mean, I think it will only go down from here if he continues to have a incomplete season to where he gets hurt.
Facts. That's true. Hey, Dave, how you feel about it?
I think it's a good move, but the only thing is if he get hurt.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. You summed it up. I mean, I'm gonna say the same thing, man. I mean, yeah, he got a lot of potential, but he stay hurt. Mm-hmm. I mean, if he can stay healthy for y'all, Drew, that's gonna be a good move for y'all, and another target for Aaron Rodgers, if he could come back and stay healthy. So I hope he get 100%. But let's just say if he was healthy, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, that's a really good move. Garrett Wilson to me is one of the up and coming receivers. He really had. I mean, if Aaron Rodgers would have had a healthy season last year, to me, he would have had some good numbers last year. But we'll see how I go this year with him. But if he can stay healthy, man, I mean, y'all got a good team. Running back, Breece Hall, Garrett Wilson, as I mentioned, Mike Will, and then y'all signed the offensive tackle. Another solid move. Good defense. So yeah, it can be scary if you stay healthy. But any other comments before we move on? If not, let's get straight to it. Another trade. Mr. Jerry Jeudy traded to the Cleveland Browns. Now, he got traded to the Cleveland Browns, but he also signed a 3-year extension, $58 million, and 41 million of that was guaranteed. So
You said
he got
4
a pack.
years?
Huh?
You said 4 years?
3-year.
Yeah.
3 years?
3-year extension. Yep. So I mean, they giving him money. He ain't played yet. Y'all heard what Steve Smith said on Buddy. You suck. But we're gonna see though. I mean, hey, we're gonna see Deshaun Watson. I mean, I ain't gonna say, Deshaun ain't really proved himself yet either since he's been back. Big Jet, we'll start with you on this one. How you feel about the move?
Cody, you kind of summed it up right there. I think everything is contingent on the quarterback situation. If Deshaun can stay healthy, if he can be there, great move. If he can't, I mean, you got all these weapons. I mean, they were already a loaded team. You talking about a team that had Amari Cooper, David Njoku. Nick Chubb got hurt, but the other running backs kind of filled in and did their thing. Great offensive line, great defense. So, I mean, the good keep getting gooder if they're in, but yeah, it's all contingent on the quarterback. Again, he had gone to the AFC North. I don't understand it. There's so many teams out here. We got 31 other teams. I'm sorry. How many other teams? 30 teams out there he could have went to. Why they keep going to the AFC North? I don't know.
That was an ulterior motive there.
Oh man, that's funny.
Andrew, how you feeling about this?
I said he hasn't played. Again, there's a reason why they're out there. So yeah, the Browns is going to be down to the quarterback. Like I said, if the quarterback Watson can actually stay healthy, it can be a nice compliment to to Cooper. But like I said, we haven't seen him play in a while, so we need to see how he actually does, when he's actually on the field. I will say this, like he was one of the receivers I did want in that draft. As a Jeff fan, I forget who they picked off. Picked in that draft, but I did want a receiver, and he was one of them I was thinking of. I think he went to Alabama, right?
Right.
Yeah, he was in Alabama.
Yep.
That was a good draft class too. Good receiver draft class too. I think that's the same with Ayuk and Jefferson. So yeah, he was one of the receivers I actually liked coming out of Alabama, but obviously that didn't happen for New York. But we'll see what happens, with Jeudy. Just hopefully he can stay healthy.
I agree. Dave?
Yeah, I think it's a good move. Like Bryson said, the rich keep getting richer. They got a great defense, great offense. I just think that, Jerry Jeudy. So I think sometimes he's not mentally there all the time. So if he can stay mentally there, I think he could be a really good receiver. I think it's just all just in his mental.
Good point. The talent is there for sure for him. I liked him coming out of Alabama. Alabama receivers always,
produce.
Yeah.
Like
always.
that.
Yeah. So the talent is there. But like I said, it all to me falls on the quarterback. What Deshaun Watson gonna do? Because we saw what old man Flacco did. I mean, he came off his couch and said, "Okay, I'm ready." Now, Deshaun, what's your excuse, dog? I mean, what's going on, man? You got these allegations against you, man, and you escaped that, and then you on the field, you had it. We gave you a pass the first year, okay? Now you come back again, you get hurt. All right. Now you got another year. All right. Whole off season. What you gonna do? You got
that money.
A lot of money. You got Amari Cooper. I mean, now you got Jeudy. You get the other
Elijah
receiver.
Moore.
Elijah Moore. Yeah. You got Njoku. And then, I hope everything go good, but you can't forget about Chubby Chubb. I mean, I know he probably won't start the season. I hope he can come back healthy, and maybe come back towards the middle of the season. I don't know how his rehab is going, but I mean, that team is loaded, man. Defense is good, so it's really up to Deshaun Watson, man, to me, to unlock Jeudy's potential. What we know he's capable of. I think he's a good receiver. Talent is there, like I said, but it's just, like like David said, sometimes it can be mental things going on with him, quarterback play. So there's a lot of different things. But we're gonna see. Any other final takes? All right. So now we getting ready to get into the spicy topics now. So the big name guys. So we're gonna talk about two guys one guy that stayed with his team and got the bag. All right. Chris Jones, the defensive tackle with the Chiefs, got a 5-year deal, $158.75 million. $100 million was guaranteed. All right. This is a huge contract for arguably the best defensive tackle in the league. How do y'all feeling about this? Andrew, we're gonna start with you. How you feel about this move with the Chiefs retaining him?
That position is rare. If you can get one and keep one, gotta keep him. I think he is the anchor on that defense.
Yep.
You have to have a player on the line that can get to the quarterback. Yeah, that's the bottom line. And he's a difference maker. Think about it on that defense. I know they have a lot of young defensive pieces on there, but to me, I believe it begins and ends with Chris Jones. They had to retain him. And you're gonna have to pay a pretty penny anyway for him. So again, I thought it was a great move for Kansas City to keep him. Could not let him go into free agency because somebody else would have gotten him, and he would have deserved every single penny. He would have deserved every single penny. So he deserved that contract. He's been the difference for them. He's been an anchor on that defense. So yeah, can't argue it.
Heart and soul of that defense for sure.
Mm-hmm.
All right, Dave, how you feel about the move?
I like the move. The only thing I don't like is the length of the contract. We know that he's in his 30s, so he's going to start to decline probably in a couple of years. But other than that, I think it's a good move for the Chiefs, bad for the league. Yeah, that's it. I just don't like it in the whole entire aspect of it.
Yeah, the years of the contract.
Yeah, the years of the contract. That's the only thing.
Got you. All right, Drew, talk to me.
Drew went already.
No, Big Jet. My bad. Big Jet. My bad.
Yeah, I mean, this was the one thing I was hoping didn't happen. I was hoping he just, please, somebody paid this big old joke. This money, man.
I'm right there with you, Bryce. I was right there with you. I was like, I hope he goes to somewhere.
Please. I'm like, come on. Good thing we got 1 out of 2, though. The other guy that should have got resigned, he went somewhere else. But anyway, that man was a terror all year. He's been a terror. He's, arguably the best, defensive tackle in the league, especially since Aaron Donald was gone. Man, when he wasn't even, making sacks, he was I just always see him pressuring the quarterback, hitting balls down, patting balls down, all that type of stuff. So it's just like, man, this was the one signing that you had to make, and they made it. So,
facts.
Yeah, hate you, Chiefs.
Yeah, bro. I completely agree with all y'all, man. This is, like I said, this is the heart and soul of that defense. He's been an anchor for this team for many years. I'm happy that he got his bag, because he is, to me, outside of Patrick Mahomes, you know what I'm saying? They Patrick Mahomes on the defensive side. They look at him to get this defense going, to me. And he sets the tone for them. So, he got his bag. This is a huge signing for them as far as them trying to three-peat this year, because if they would have lost him, I don't think it would have happened. Very good move for them to retain him for the team. So I like the move.
Is Snead still on the team, or he on a different team?
Well, we getting ready to talk about that right now.
Oh, okay.
L'Jarius Sneed. I like how you did that, David. L'Jarius Sneed traded to the Tennessee Titans. He got traded for some crap. If y'all saw that,
when did he traded?
Nothing for him, to be honest with you.
When he got traded?
I think yesterday. Oh, yesterday.
Yeah, today. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't see that.
I want to say
Yeah.
a 4th round and a 5th or something like
Yeah,
that.
something like
It
that.
wasn't nothing really. I mean, nothing
That's
significant.
terrible.
Yes. To be honest with you, if I was the Chiefs, I'm like, man, you're gonna stay on this for another year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Shoot, why would you get rid of your best corner? I don't know. But it is some solid vets still out there. I mean, Stephon Gilmore still out there. I mean, I don't know. You know, they can make another splash, but we'll see. But I'm gonna let y'all start off as usual. Big J, we'll start with you.
I loved it. Just because I didn't care where he went to. I just said I felt like he signed with the Ravens when he didn't sign with the Chiefs. I said, oh, he gone? Man, that man single-handedly crushed my dreams. I had nightmares.
Yeah, that's true.
Come on. Who knows? He scored that touchdown, the whole game going in a whole different. Yeah. So I love it. That's it.
I know Zay Flowers do too.
No,
you know, I had to do it. Man.
Oh my God.
Andrew, man, tell us how you feeling, man.
I think that is a loss for the Chiefs, just in terms of, I think he's very good on the defense, along with Chris Jones there. The Chiefs must have something else planned to take his spot there in the secondary. But I think that's quite a significant loss for the Chiefs. Yeah. I wasn't expecting that one, man. I'm sure they probably were at a crossroads like, okay, do you pay Snead? Do you pay Jones? Obviously, you pay the defensive end,
right?
But the defensive tackle, excuse me. But that's quite a significant loss for the Chiefs. We'll see how they, again, what they do in terms of if they do sign someone like a Stephon Gilmore, somebody like that, or maybe just develop another, corner in the draft. We'll see how that goes. They seem to do well, with developing these, young defenders in the, via draft. So we'll see what happens.
Facts. All right, Dave.
This was terrible for the Chiefs and great for the league. The compensation is garbage. A 3rd and a 4th for this guy. This guy locks down your number 1 wide receiver. We've seen that throughout the playoffs. We've seen that throughout the Super Bowl. We've seen that throughout the whole season. He's guarding your number 1, and you're not passing his way. So I just think that, the Chiefs got no compensation for the type of talent he is.
And I agree. But I will say this. They defensive coordinator over there need to get a lot of attention because he's been doing so well for them for the last few years. His name escapes me at the moment.
Spagnuolo? Yeah.
Spagnuolo, yeah. Steve Spagnuolo, yeah, him. Right. I would say the last 2 years, I mean, before L'Jarius Sneed, I mean, that defense was solid, but then of course, this is the best defense Patrick Mahomes has had. And he's always had the defenses playing hard and playing tremendously at a high level. Now, will they go and get another corner? Absolutely. But I just think they're going to get one in free agency because I don't think they're going to try to – I mean, unless you get a top corner in the draft because there's some good ones out there. But if you do get a Stephon Gilmore, I mean, that's a solid move to me. He's older, but he still has – to me, he still can play. So, I mean, I can see that happening for them. But to the Tennessee Titans, though, I mean – and you don't get nothing in return for him. I mean, not even a bag of chips. I mean, goodness. I mean, that's crazy to me. How they just
get a second round, at least a second round.
I'm thinking like a second. Shoot, I mean,
first,
yeah,
a first would have been great, but at least a second round.
Yeah, at least, man. And they didn't even get that. And like I said in the beginning, I'm like, well, you ain't going nowhere. You're gonna stay right here. And let you ride out this franchise tag. But but it just shows you, man, they got faith in Patty Milk so good, man. They don't even give a damn. Like, we'll grab somebody off the street and do it again. So, any other final comments, y'all?
Yeah, just to your point, David, 65% of the snaps, when he covered the top receiver, in the league, this past season. So yeah, that's takes a lot off the defense when you have that guy, that corner that can just take on the number one receiver. And he did really well against all of the receivers, all year and even into the postseason as we saw. So yeah, but like I said, we'll see what they do, either via free agency or in the draft.
Yeah, we'll see. We're gonna definitely see. All right, y'all. Well, it's time to get to the other side of things. We're gonna stay with the Chiefs, but we're going to the other side of the ball. Mr. Hollywood is a Kansas City Chief. You talking about a good little move? A 1-year deal, $7 million. I like how I said that. 1-year deal, $7 million. Ooh, hey, that's the Tyreek Hill for them now. Now y'all done said, not y'all, but folks out there, he can't do it without Tyreek Hill. He done did it twice. Now you done got a speed guy back on the team. you gotta, he ain't Tyreek Hill, but he fast though. And he could definitely be that guy for them. But I'll say my point for last. David, we're gonna start with you, man. How you feel about this?
I think it's a good pickup.
Yeah.
It's better than what they got. Besides Rice, I think it's better than what they got besides him. It's pretty good. Like you say, he's a deep ball threat. He has questionable hands, but he can get open. He's good at after the catch too. So I think it's a pretty good move for them because they do need a wide receiver badly.
Yeah, for sure. Big J, how you feel about your former Raven?
Yeah. Anybody that played and you want to know, man, y'all know they is at the top of the mountain. We trying to beat them, and out of all the spots you want to go to, you want to go over there. But anyway, like David said, not only is the hands questionable, I ain't gonna just dog him. He's fast. He will open up the defense, but the hands is questionable, and that's another one that don't be there all the time. So we will see. But solid move because he can't open up the defense. Rashee Rice, I think, is a tremendous talent. That's my cousin. Yeah. So yeah.
Oh man. All right, Andrew.
I thought that was a really good under the radar signing in free agency. Again, that deep threat. If you think about it, even Mahomes just, to an extent had to change his game because, when he had Tyreek Hill, I mean, they had, you saw, through the highlights and even just watching the games, how many long plays downfield we saw with Hill. And he had to, kind of change things around when Hill left. And again, made it work. And now he has that deep threat again. Now, now watch Big Jet. Now watching Kansas City on the deep routes, he'll start catching them now.
Right.
I think that's a really good signing, for them. Again, that deep threat, and then just the yards after catch. And again, with that core with Rice, who I think is outstanding and will be. So now it's like you have the run. Obviously you have the quarterback in play. You have the running back, and you have Rice as your receiver. You still have Kelsey. And now you have Brown on the other side. Can't, because that now that we saw Rice, how he broke out, later in the year, can't really double him now because now you have Brown who's going to streak deep. So that's
right.
It's going to be interesting.
They got a deep threat and a possession receiver, so that's pretty good combination to have.
Mm-hmm. Pretty much. I love the move. This was to me the most underrated signing that has happened. That's a good move for, of course, Patrick Mahomes, because as y'all mentioned, adding Hollywood is better than what they had the last previous years. He's going to definitely stretch the field for them, over the top guy. Like you said, Dave, they can't double team Rice or Andrew, whoever said that point. They can't do that no more. And then you got Pacheco in the backfield. I love the move. And you know what great players do? They elevate. Elevate. Y'all gonna keep hearing that word from me as the season goes on. He's gonna elevate Hollywood's game. Now he do have some injury problems, but I do feel like with all the weapons they got, I mean, shoot, Hollywood just stay in your lane, do what you supposed to do. He ain't got to be Superman, because you already got enough talent on that team now with the addition of him, and they're not done yet. They still gonna add probably another receiver, whether in the draft or free agency. So if they add another guy, I mean, especially somebody that we know in free agency or something like that, that's decent enough. I mean, shoot, they have a good chance of doing this thing again. We're gonna see. But last takes, y'all, before we move on.
Good job to the league for playing, for the most part, keep away from the Chiefs. I thought Mike Evans was going there. Nope. I thought Mike
so
was going there.
Yep.
Nope. I thought who else was out there? There was a couple of big name wide receivers linked to them that I thought D-Hop was possibly gonna go there now. Nope. All these folks did not go to the Chiefs. So for them to reach in the bag and pull out Hollywood, I ain't mad at it.
Yeah. All right. Well, let's move on. Kirk Cousins. Kirk Cousins signs with the Atlanta Falcons, Mr. AKA Kirkwood, AKA Kirko Chains, AKA Woody from Toy Story. I mean, there's so many different names you could tell, man. Top 10, y'all see this. Y'all they do look alike though. They do look alike. But you know what I'm saying?
He's coming with it
Kirk
tonight,
Chain,
man.
Kirk O'Chain. But now, all jokes aside, y'all know I gotta start first because this is my team. I gotta start first on this. So I got told y'all before, I really wanted Justin Fields. Okay. I felt like Justin Fields was much younger. Upside to me, he still hasn't reached the level of talent that we have seen yet because he's been in a horrible system. I feel like we as a team, we have better talent that Justin Fields could have been around that elevated his game so much. And not only that, you didn't have to pay him right now. So, I mean, next year will be the year if we did trade for him, we would have to pay him. But, I mean, you could have got him and see what he does this year. And if he didn't work, I mean, shoot, get rid of him. But now that Justin Fields with the Vikings, I mean, the Steelers, I mean, it is what it is. Kirk Chains. Now, my initial thoughts on this was we overpaid for him because the contract was a 4-year, $180 million contract, and $100 million of that was guaranteed. If you just look at that contract without really doing the homework, you'd be like, man, that's a lot of money we paid for a 35-year-old coming off an Achilles at that. But as I did my homework, so the first 2 years of the contract, he's getting paid $90 million for this year, and then he get another pay of $90 million the following year. So we paying him $100 million within those first 2 years. Now the third year, if he don't play well the first 2 years, we can cut him. All right, and it won't affect our dead cap too much. So when I saw that, I was like, okay, well, it was kind of a smart move for them. And if you look at the quarterback market, I mean, look at Baker Mayfield. He got paid. I mean, we can say how we feel about Baker, but that's just how the market is for quarterbacks right now. So I have to take that into consideration. But how do I feel about him coming down here to the Falcons? This is just like how I feel about, we talked about the Mike Williams, the Hollywood Browns, and so forth. If he stay healthy, okay, that Achilles got to be right. I'm kind of nervous on it, okay, because Achilles, we've seen with Aaron Rodgers, as you get older, you get hurt, and, come back next year, we'll see what he does. But, I mean, if he can come back healthy off the Achilles, we got a top 5 offense right before us. I'm telling y'all right now. This offense is scary. We got Zach Robinson. If y'all don't know who that is, he came from the Rams. He's a product of Steve McVay, that offense over there. So with
Sean
the guy, yeah, with the weapon, I mean, it's scary, man. Kyle Pitts, Drake London, Bijan, Darnell Mooney. So then we traded Des Ritter for Rondale Moore. So if he stay healthy, man, we got a top 5 offense right now. I expect playoffs and not just the first round. We should at least be in the second round of the playoffs to me, and we should definitely win our division because Kirk Cousins, as y'all saw in the picture, he got that top 10 chain on. Okay, so that's how he feel. Now he go out there and prove it. He can if he stay healthy. But I go on and on about this, but I want to hear y'all thoughts on this move. David, we'll start with you. How you feel about the move?
I think it's a pretty good move. Like you mentioned, the Achilles, you got to make sure the Achilles is right. You don't want him to re-injure it and then start all over again the next year.
Right.
He's a pretty good quarterback. He can get the ball to the receivers well. He spreads the ball around well. He has a big arm. He makes pretty good decisions. The only thing about him is just the big games. But I think overall, this is a pretty good signing for y'all, considering who was out there.
Right.
I think this is the best decision out of the people that was available.
Mm-hmm. Big Jit.
All right, Cody. I gotta be honest with you. Kind of scratched my head with this one because the reason why I scratched my head because I feel like you look at ceiling and you look at upside. You kind of know what you're getting out of Kirk Cousins. And for that amount of money, I give it, give it the market was like that. It's like, what are you paying for? Are you paying for just a couple playoff games? Or, if that's what you're, looking to get out of the situation, then, great move. But if you're looking to take that next step, I don't know if Kirk Cousins put you there. Because over the course of his career, 10 seasons? He's won one playoff game. On top of that, he comes from a team that had the best wide receiver in football, arguably a top 3 tight end in football. Jordan Addison, he was just at this year. Dalvin Cook. So it's like he has not. It's not like he hasn't been around good talent. And yeah. And then with the situation with Justin Fields, it's just like you don't know what he could have been. The upside in Justin Fields coming to this offense, like you said, that is stacked, could have been tremendous. But for what was available, I mean, I still prefer Justin Fields for y'all offense over Kirk Cousins. But I mean, y'all had to make a move, and I know Falcons fans are proud that y'all just made a move to at least put y'all in a direction. I don't know how far, but in a direction.
Mm-hmm. I got more to say, but I'll wait to Andrew. We want to hear your talk. Point.
I wanted to hear from you. I was like, when I first saw it, I was like, I know. I was like, hope they'll we know his cousins there. Well, just as an aside, whoever his agent is phenomenal.
Man.
Yep.
He betted on himself for a long
I need
time.
his phone number.
You know what it is, though? You know what it is? He bet on himself. He get a 1-year contract and he plays it out. He don't even hold out. That's what it really is.
Yeah.
Since the days in Washington. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like the move. Yeah, I think just I know you wanted Fields, down there. And obviously that didn't happen. Hopefully they'll learn how to use Kyle Pitts.
Yep.
I don't think he's been used enough there. I think that will change there, but again, that division is open. Down there. I know Baker and Evans, they're together down there, but I do think that Atlanta's right there. So that should make for an exciting division just for those two teams. So yeah, I think there'll be a much improved offense this year.
Yeah. So I got another point. Bryce, yeah, definitely for sure. I'm hearing your points, and I definitely understand where you're coming from. I did want Justin Fields, like I was saying, just as far as the upside, the mobility side of things is too, because Kirk is a pocket quarterback. We have a good offensive line. To me, we got a definitely top 10 offensive line, but we can improve. And Kirk has no mobility coming off Achilles. But if you look at Kyle Pitts when he first came into the league, He joined Mike Dicker as the only rookie tight end to tally 1,000-yard receiver. And y'all know who his quarterback was. Matt Ryan. Now, when Matt Ryan left, of course, we ain't seen Kyle Pitts do anything, really. Kirk Cousins can potentially be what Matt Ryan was for us. Or he can be, I like to compare a Matthew Stafford situation. Matthew Stafford, of course, with Detroit was horrible. You can debate on that, whether it was talent, or organization, or himself. And then he came to a good system with the Rams and won a Super Bowl. I feel like with us getting the offensive coordinator from the Rams, he can potentially be a Matthew Stafford for us. And Matthew Stafford is no slouch whatsoever, especially last year. He had a really good year last year for the Rams. And I feel like if Kirk Cousins can come in and kind of replicate what Matthew Stafford did, because Kirk Cousins and Bryson, I don't know if you remember, bro, on the job, Larry was saying Kirk Cousins was like one of the accurate quarterbacks in the league. You remember that?
I remember that.
And now we was like, I don't think so, but he definitely is up there. Now, if he the best, that's debatable, but I looked at highlights and he can't put the ball where it need to be. I will say that. So I'm kind of excited on that part of it as well. But I mean, like I said, I like the move or whatever now. I mean, like I said, just all depend on if he stay healthy. If he mess up that Achilles, then I'm gonna be mad. Y'all gonna have to check on him. So yeah, I mean, well, we're gonna see, man. We're gonna see because it's all riding on him.
Yeah,
this is where our team is riding on Kirk Cousins right now. He has to lead us to where we, I want to say places that we haven't been, but just haven't been in a long time. So I'm excited. So we're gonna see.
Yeah,
we're gonna definitely see. But let's get into these last two topics, man, for the night. Y'all know who this guy is? The monster.
I know who's going first.
Derrick Henry signed with the Baltimore Ravens. So I'm gonna start with Big Jet.
Have to.
Now, before we get to you, Big Jet, now he signed with the Ravens for a 2-year deal, $16 million. $9 million was guaranteed. So just to put that out there. Is he 30 years old? I don't even know how old he is.
Yeah, I think he over 30.
He over 30.
He 30.
All right, go ahead, Big Jet. Go ahead, talk to him.
Hold on, son.
The religious experience.
Gotta talk to him. First, before we even start, man, hold on.
Just say a prayer.
EDC, that's what I'm talking about, man. We cooked. All right, I got a whole thing lined up with this. Hold on, Simba. Boy, stop. He trying to steal my
Simba said.
All right, so to put it in the situation, Derrick Henry, we all know he's a monster. The only thing that people will probably say about the move is that he's aged, which I can't agree with. I mean, can't disagree with. He is aged. Derrick Henry in his last year with the Titans, PFC rankings had the Titans offensive line as the 32nd ranked worst offensive line. He put up the second most rushing yards behind Christian McCaffrey. No, I'm sorry. I forgot who was number one, but behind the rushing leader last year. This man is now entering to an offense that has Lamar Jackson and at least a top 10 offensive line. What he will be able to do as far as RPO and just being able to threaten, the defense or defensive coordinators of what direction we're going as far as he unlocks the whole team. He doesn't just affect the run game, but he affects the pass game because now you have to account for Derrick Henry. You can't just say, "Oh, I'm going to shut down Lamar," because now it leaves Derrick Henry. Or I got to focus on Derrick Henry, so that now it plays to the wide receivers can get open more. This was a tremendous move, and I feel like now the times to where we abandon the run game will be no more. If this can be what I think it can be, and he stays healthy, we gonna be there next year. And if you know what I'm talking about with yeah, Yeah, we're
All
gonna be
right, so I'm finna write this down as we speak. So
Right.
it's 3/23, 2024.
bookmark it. Write it down.
Yeah.
Come on now.
9:54 p.m. Bryson Rice, aka Big Jet, said the Baltimore Ravens are going to the Super Bowl. Am I
You
hearing
heard
that
it
right?
first. You heard it first.
All right.
You heard it first.
All right, writing it down.
Didn't they lose people too? Oh, I'm sorry.
Hey, it's just like with the Steelers or any significant organization. We're great on before. That's the thing. I love these type of conversations because we got to keep in mind the whole season. Before we did what we did and we proved that we were the best football until that one particular game, the team we had established, the team we had, nobody had us going into the season as just these monsters on defense. They came out and we performed and we made it do what it do. So in the same way, yeah, we lost players, but we're always good on defense. So I mean, it's gonna be the same thing. I'm not worried. Derrick Henry affects everything, the defense too, because now I mean I think we were top 3 in scoring the football last year. Derrick Henry, oh my gosh, when we get to the 2, 3, 4, 5 yard line, it's gonna be ridiculous.
Yeah, I will say that he should have 30 touchdowns.
Come on now.
He's gonna be in the goal line for real though.
Yeah, he is.
Yeah. All right, Dave, how you feeling about it?
I mean, it's an okay pickup.
Oh,
It's okay pickup. I mean,
Elaborate.
He's older. He doesn't have the same explosiveness he's had. He's not the same player as he was when he was in his prime. He's more prone to get injured because he's over 30, and running backs when they decline, it's not like they have. It's like an extra decline because they lose everything because they get hit so much. So I just think that they could just continue to do the same thing. They're going to run the ball during the regular season, and when they get to the playoffs, they're just going to start passing the ball and start to feed the narrative that they should pass the ball more instead of just running the ball. It's just going to be the same old Ravens like they did last year.
All right. All right, Drew, talk to us, man.
This podcast ruined friendships. Dave, I like it. I got
All right, Drew.
The second I saw that, I was like, dang, that's a good pickup. I always like Henry, as a running back. Again, I know we hear, the saying about running backs and, when they reach over 30, he does have a lot of mileage, just in terms of the carries, that whole bit. I mean, I'm just sitting there looking at his, just from, even from he started in 16, from 110 attempts, 176, 215, 303, 378, 219, 349, 280. That's a lot.
Yeah.
A lot of knowledge for a guy there. So I don't think I definitely don't see him carrying the ball 349 times in Baltimore. He probably won't have to with Lamar there. I do think I think that's a really good situation for him because they should be run first offense. In the postseason, they need to stay a run first offense team because their run sets up the pass, and that makes them even more dangerous. They don't need to play, when they need him to be like a Josh Allen or a Burrow, things of that sort. They need to stick to their game plan.
Yeah.
And stick to the running game. I can see during, at some points during the season where, they may cut down on his carries just so that he could be fresher for the postseason. So I could see that they would be smart to do that because he's that type of running back where when the games get late and it gets tight, you don't want to see him coming at you because he's the one that he can end games just with him by himself, just pounding through a tiring defense, that whole bit. But if Baltimore's smart, and I think they should be, he could be a really major piece into their Super Bowl aspirations for this coming season.
Mm-hmm. Good points. Good points, everybody. So, this was a good move for the Ravens. Like I was saying, Derrick Henry gonna get a lot of touchdowns. especially in the goal line situations. He's definitely gonna be feasting. He's gonna help Lamar as far as Lamar not running the ball as much and showing that he can be a passer. So like David was saying, they have to stick to the game plan. If they let Derrick Henry run in the playoffs, as Andrew said, save him and let him feast in the playoffs, then we can see potentially them doing some Super Bowl maybe. But me personally though, I thought to me the better fit for the Ravens would have been Joe Mixon. I like Joe Mixon better just because he's a little younger, a little bit more explosive than Derrick Henry right now, and he can catch out the backfield. Derrick Henry is not a pass catcher as far as out the backfield like that. But I feel like I said, it's a good move for y'all. I mean, it's better than what y'all had. J.K. Dobbins stayed hurt. Gus Edwards, he does his thing, but he's not really a number one.
Didn't he leave?
Yeah.
Oh,
He did. He went to the Chargers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
okay.
Yep. And then they got the other guy. Shoot, he came on last year.
Mitchell.
What's his name, Bryson?
Mitchell.
Keenan Mitchell. Yeah. So it's a good change of pace they got right over there.
Is he still hurt? Because he got hurt in the playoffs. Is he?
Nah, he early on. He'll be back by.
Yeah, he should be back for them.
Yeah.
Okay, because I thought it was like a major injury.
It was, but it was probably like week 8 or something like that.
Oh, okay.
I don't know why those playoffs too.
But I will say y'all do need another receiver though.
Oh yeah, we're going to attack that. Don't worry.
Y'all need definitely need another receiver.
But I ain't gonna lie to you again, Cody. If I had the floor, what Derrick Henry does for this offense is just it opens it up so much to where even let's just say if you're not a great wide receiver, you can become great in this situation because now it's gonna be so much attention on Derrick Henry. You're gonna now be looking at Lamar and Derrick Henry for whatever they're doing. I think that's gonna be the 1-2 punch combo. And now, okay, what Zay gonna do, but for that other guy, he benefits from that as well, whether it's Rashad Bateman or a new guy. On top of that, I get what y'all saying with the old thing, 30 thing, but there has been outliers to this conversation. You got Emmitt Smith, you got Adrian Peterson, you got Frank Gore. That's just to name a few. If anybody I think would be to the caliber that could be an outlier in this situation as far as running back, I would think Derrick Henry would be the case. Not last but not least, his last game of playing football. I did my research. Last game of playing football was against the Jacksonville Jaguars. They played everybody. The Titans played everybody. He ran for like 153, and they timed him at 22 miles per hour. So it's like with the decline with PFP, Austin Eckler, it was evident. With the decline with other running backs, you kind of see it happening. We haven't seen it happening with Derrick Henry. So until that happens, I'm not gonna put that on him, man.
I mean, when I mean decline, I mean as far as physically, not like his vision and stuff, because he's not as fast as he used to be. He's not as agile because he's pretty agile for how big he is. He is pretty agile for how big he is. And he's not as agile as he used to be.
You got to take into account the situation. They took who did the Titans have? Will Levis and DeAndre Hopkins, who is not who he once was. They don't have an AJ Brown. So when you come to play the Titans every week, you knew Derrick Henry was getting the ball. You can load the box to attack this man. In his previous years, when he put up his crazy caliber numbers, he had always AJ Brown to kind of take some attention away from them loading the box.
But I'm not talking about numbers. I'm talking about physically. He's declined.
We'll agree to disagree. We'll agree to disagree on that.
Okay.
All right. Let's move on to the last one.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Saquon. Saquon. Went to the rivals, the Philadelphia Eagles. Who would have expected this?
Not me.
Nobody. I think y'all did some tampering, David.
Yeah.
Y'all got rid of Swift, but y'all knew he was coming. I said, you know what? Just hold on, Saquon. We gonna get you. We gonna get you. Just hang on in there. Yeah, we probably did Kirk Cousins too. We probably tampered a little bit. Kirk Cousins snitched in the press conference. So yeah, I was talking to the performance guy already before I got here, and I'm like, yeah, you done snitched. You done told the folks. I said, golly. As soon as he said that, the Falcons on the investigation with the Eagles. I said, yep. But Saquon Barkley went to the Philadelphia Eagles. Let me look at the contract because he got a
Yes, sir.
3-year, $37 million, $26 million guaranteed. Now y'all know his injury history. So I know Bryson. All right, so Dave, I'm gonna start with you. But before we start with you, let's get to the comments. Mr. Joe said, I don't mind he left, but not to the Eagles. Giants fan, I'm assuming.
Yes.
Then he said he get hurts too much. So the people saying it too. Injury.
We can talk about it.
Talk to him, David. How do you feel about this move?
I feel wonderful. I feel wonderful about free agency. I love what my team been doing. This is what I'm gonna compare it to. Y'all remember how Christian McCaffrey was reported as injury prone in Carolina? He went to a better team, a better offensive lineman, and now he's not considered injury prone.
Who is you comparing it to? I missed that.
Christian McCaffrey.
Oh, CMC, yeah.
You see, he was injury prone back in Carolina, but he went to a better team, better offensive line, and you see how he's turned out. He's healthy. So
good point.
You can make a point that he's getting a better offensive line, so he won't be getting hit in the backfield as much, which can cause injuries when hits pile up. We have a great offensive line, which y'all know, top two.
I think
he hasn't had a top 2 offensive lineman, so he can have a breakout year, maybe 2,000 yards total from scrimmage. He's a great pass catcher.
Yep.
Yeah, I think him and Jalen Hurts are a pretty good duo. If we run the football, because last year we did not do that, and we need to do that this year. Because Jalen Hurts is not a pocket passer. He needs to run first, just like Lamar Jackson. He needs to run first in order to get a rhythm in the passing game. So I think that's key. But yeah, I think this is a great pickup for us.
Mm-hmm. Andrew?
Saquon, it ain't so.
Like that.
I thought it was, the Giants had to have known like that was coming because obviously, let's be honest, Saquon, he was the perfect Giant. He wanted to be a Giant, and the Giants did not feel that way. Again, they have the same view as many in the NFL do about running backs, devaluing them that whole bit. And they had to, in the back of their minds, like, if we don't sign this guy, he's probably going to be staying within the division. And that's the last place I'm sure they wanted him to go, that in Dallas. I love the move on his part. Again, the Giants made a business decision. So Saquon has the right also to make a business decision. So I don't, there was a lot of hate, from certain ex-players, that whole bit about him going to Philly.
Yeah. Tiki Barber, shut up.
Tiki Barber.
Exactly.
Shut up, Tiki Barber.
Talking about royalty. Yeah, okay. Yeah, the way he's badmouth Eli Manning. Okay. So I thought it was a phenomenal business move by Barkley. And
hey, I had to put that out there. Joe said I was going to name my next child Saquon.
Oh man.
Be with the joke.
Dante said with the ban of the tush push possibly upon us, the run game will have to improve anyway.
Tush push is not going anywhere.
It's not.
They already ruled on that.
Yeah, they ruled that. Yeah.
Yeah, this week they ruled on it. No, great move. I think it's a phenomenal move. by
Yeah.
Philly, and just I think he'll do much better out there, better offensive line, better turf. So yeah, I think it's a great move for him. Great business move to go to Philly. And now the Giants have to see him twice a year.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Big Jit.
I ain't got nothing, David, bro. I'm a realist, man. So first of all, I think that's the best move of the free agency.
Yeah.
I will say that's a lot of money to a person with the injury history of his. That's a lot of cheese. It's 3 years, but still, that was very comparable of you to bring up CMC, the CMC situation, how he moved to the 49ers, and he kind of washed away the injury history thing. That's just the only factor, bro. I mean, I feel sky's the limit. If he can stay healthy, I mean, yeah, that should do tremendous things for y'all. But if he doesn't, that's gonna be a big L too. So yeah, it depends on his health. But great, excellent move if he stays healthy.
Mm-hmm. I think this is the best move of free agency. I just think that Saquon fits within y'all offense tremendously, and that was a great comparison, like you said, with CMC. He doesn't have to be that workhorse guy anymore. The Giants, all you thought about was Saquon Barkley. How are we going to stop Saquon Barkley? I mean, you can't compare it to the Derrick Henry situation. Derrick Henry does not have to be the workhorse no more for the Ravens. Saquon does not have to be the workhorse for the Eagles. And just like Jalen Hurts, don't do too much. Just like Lamar, don't do too much now.
Yeah.
You got a very competent running back now. Just hand the ball off now and let Saquon do his thing. And then on top of that, you got 2 Pro Bowl receivers on the outside. And then you got another one of the best tight ends in the league as well.
Yeah.
And in my opinion, y'all got the best offensive line in the league to me. So y'all, yeah. I mean, y'all gonna be a legit team this year. I mean, not like y'all already wasn't, but this year for sure. This gonna really put y'all over the top. But Saquon, has to stay healthy. But I just feel like now that he's there, he don't have to do as much. As long as he just, stay in his lane as far as what the coaches want him to do and let him just feast off that. And then that's gonna open it up to AJ Brown and the other boys. So I'm happy that he got his bag. I mean, I know he has some injuries, but as far as running backs, man, they do a lot for these teams and they need to get their money. So he got it. And like Andrew said, this was a business decision. So Tiki Barber, shut up. And if y'all don't know what I'm talking about, for those watching, y'all go look it up on YouTube. Joker was talking so much trash about this.
Talking reckless.
Yes, man. Yeah. It's crazy, bro. Crazy. Any final comments, y'all, before we end this thing?
Just to go out to Barkley. Yeah, just he could, just one carry, he could take it to the house. So yeah,
yep.
Joe
said Rodgers need to stay in the hey, like
you said, helps Achilles, I'm good.
Yeah,
if it helps his Achilles, I'm good, man.
Yeah, Saquon just need that one little opening, man. Yeah, he can take it to the house for sure.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. And he's a great receiver too. So.
Sure is.
Yeah. So
Eagles, y'all did a great job doing fantasy. Y'all do a wonderful. Y'all filling up. Y'all fill up the linebacker spots, which y'all haven't done in forever. Oh my gosh, our linebacker has been terrible.
Oh, you got Devin White.
We got Devin White.
That was
pretty good.
That was crucial too.
That's most underrated in my opinion. Devin White on the field for 10 minutes. Oh my.
And then we got Bryce Huff from the Jets.
Yeah, I got Bryce Huff. Now, one thing I would say about Devin White, he is older. That's the I mean, he's a little older, but he still can play. He may not be the same dominant guy that he once was, but
but what's really I'm really questioning it because last year they did say like he did get like benched though last year from Tampa Bay.
Oh, okay.
So that's kind of like it's not like set in stone as people saying it is, but at the same time, it could be motivation for him to get better. So we're just gonna have to wait and see.
Yeah, definitely, man. All right, fellas. Well, this gonna wrap it up for tonight. This was definitely fun, man. Entertaining. A lot of big name free agents went different places this year, so it's gonna be definitely an exciting football season this year. So I can't wait about that for sure.
Cody, say
Huh?
your on this free agency. Wouldn't you say, as we talked about before, this is the most probably craziest free agency of
Oh
all?
yeah, I would say this is the best free agency to me that I've seen in my lifetime.
This many,
Yeah.
This is the most big name free agent guys that hit the market.
exactly.
And then to me, it was like a lot of the players went to the rivals, man. That's what make it even more interesting. To see these boys twice a year. Oh, Saquon seeing the Giants twice a year. What? Oh my
It's
god.
over with. He rushing for 200 yards twice.
Man, what? He hearing the noise. People talking trash, man. I'm like, oh yeah, I'm gonna see y'all again. We're gonna see y'all again. So yeah, it's gonna be exciting times this year for sure. So of course, appreciate y'all fellas being on here. We missing most of the guys. They had some stuff to do, but pretty sure they'll be on next time we do this again. We got the draft coming up in April. So we're gonna be doing some coverage on that pretty soon. Dante said good night, guys. Appreciate it, man.
Hey, Dante, thank you for listening in.
Appreciate y'all the comment sections. Y'all, man, did such the dogs, a Giants fan. Appreciate the love, man. And shout out to ATLJ. He subscribed to the channel. I appreciate the love, man. And like I said in the beginning, please subscribe to the channel if you're watching, and like, please share, do whatever you can. We appreciate the support. And we definitely gonna be putting out some more content pretty soon. So any other final comments, fellas, before we wrap this thing on up? That's it.
Cowboys
Drew?
stuff.
Just one last one about
AJ
AJ Brown.
this year.
Really, just that one.
Super Bowl.
Come on,
Super Bowl.
see y'all in the Super Bowl next year, man.
Super Bowl.
Y'all got it.
Here we go with this. Don't start being like the Cowboys fans.
Make this a
Patty
short.
got something to say.
Make this a short. We come back to this next year. Super Bowl.
Patty Melt listening too.
Hey man. Hey man. Hey man. Hey man.
I got something to say for that.
Man.
Lamar got to do better in the playoffs before you say that.
Oh my goodness, he did good in one game. He didn't do good in another. It's all right. It's easy.
No. He played more than 2 games. He played more than 2 games throughout his career.
He be all right. He got the same
He
record.
played more than 2 games throughout his career, didn't he?
He may have to go to Arrowhead.
I'm about to start up another conversation. Don't do that now. He
We
got the
just
same
started.
record that Peyton Manning had at this point in his career.
And where do people? And Peyton Manning choked in the playoffs too.
Quarterback of all time.
Peyton Manning choked in the playoffs too.
Exactly. And how did his career turn out? What is he regarded
I
as?
mean, it's a great career, but still.
All right
He
then.
didn't perform in the
Did he get
playoffs.
two?
That's all I'm
Did he
saying.
get another
I
one?
didn't say he won top 5. I didn't say he won elite. I said he got to perform before he could get to the
And all I'm saying,
Super Bowl.
just give it time. Just give it time. You gonna give it time?
There you
That's all
go.
I'm saying. Just
That's
give it
all I got is time.
all right. We're gonna see. All right.
You
Ravens
better start racking them
Right.
up.
Lamar listened to too much Kodak.
But
yeah.
no.
All right.
You need to listen more. That's good motivation music right there, boy. Yes, sir.
All right, y'all.
All right,
Y'all have a good night, man. This was fun.
You too.
All right.
All right, y'all. Peace.
Peace.
Have a good one.